Hi and welcome to another free.volous episode. Today we're doing one of my favorite series on this channel, which is an up close and personal on an affordable foundation, which is the Catrice True Skin Foundation. This is supposedly a hyaluronic acid foundation, long wear. It says it provides an even skin tone, natural matte finish, medium to high coverage, and a comfortable feeling. I also went on the website, of course, and they say the True Skin Foundation is the makeup essential that was missing. With medium to high coverage and long wearing, it evens out the skin tone, but without compromising the feeling of real skin. It has a vegan formula with hyaluronic acid and watermelon seed oil, which provides an intense hydration. On the website, it says it only shows 4 colors, but then there's this picture here. I don't know what's going on, and here there is a picture with 6 different colors. It is an appalling collection. Catrice is not known for being super inclusive or anything. It's a small brand, European brand. They're super affordable, so they should be accessible to most people, but let's get on with the foundation review. I'm going to do, as usual, my application so that you can see how it goes on my skin, and then I'll do a few check-ins. Just a reminder, I have combination skin. I'm starting to verge on the oilier side because it's getting warmer here, and I have acne, hyperpigmentation. I don't have a lot of active acne at the moment, but I've had quite a bit of acne, which left me with hyperpigmentation to conceal. I prefer my kind of medium foundations, but buildable and sort of flexible, so that I can use them however I'd like. And yeah, this is how it looks. So if you want to see how it went and what I did, just keep on watching. And if you are enjoying my videos, please do consider subscribing. If you haven't already, leave me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see from me next. Which foundations do you want me to review and all that stuff. And yeah, let's jump into the application process. Okay, let's start, shall we? I have my normal skincare routine for my oilier days because it's getting warmer, and of course sunscreen. I wore a more lightweight one so that it doesn't pill. Here we go. 1 pump. It's quite runny and it's a bit liquidy. I've got mine in 030 neutral sand. Let's hope that this barely matches, although Catrice doesn't have great color choices. Yeah, it's a bit too light for me. It's a lot of product in 1 pump. Building it up where I need a bit more coverage. So here is half of my face. And here we go on the other side. I'm still using what's left from the first pump. I'd say for the type of coverage that I like, which is medium, and then enhancing some areas that need a bit more help, 1 pump will be enough. Maybe you'll need a little bit more than 1 pump. Okay, I will need a little bit more. So I'm going to start with the coverage, just applied 1 drop, starting with intensifying the coverage where I need it. But you can see you can build it up quite a lot. I'm just keeping it a bit more stretched out and less intense because that's how I roll. But it does deliver quite a bit of coverage easily. Because it is really fluid, I think you will enjoy using a sponge just to press things down and not have that kind of the streakiness. I'm still working with what I have on my brush. It is a really fluid foundation. So here we are. This is the coverage freshly applied. I must say I'm really impressed until now. They say, what do they say? Natural matte finish. I would agree. My skin is not dewy, but it doesn't look, you know, mattified and dried out and all of that. There's a difference within those stages. It's a spectrum. It's not either or. And my skin looks quite beautiful and luminous without being matte. Let's see if this sets a bit more. Let me show you the up close without powder. I've lowered my ISO, and as you can see, it looks pretty, as it says in the bottle, pretty natural matte. It doesn't look dried out or weird, but it doesn't have a lot of glow off the bat. My sunscreen is slightly dewier and it shows through a little bit, but it's not too much that an oilier skin would go berserk. At this moment, it is slightly tacky to the touch. So we'll see. I'll do my makeup and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I did my whole cream makeup and now I'm going to set it with powder because I feel like it's still slightly tacky to the touch, and I wanted to give a good chance to last longer. I've only used cream products. That's kind of my go-to routine nowadays. And then I'll see if I want to do something else extra. I'm letting my cheeks with no powder because I like that glowy sort of look, but I know that my cheeks will be sticky throughout the day because of that. So that won't be considered. I'm going to powder half my forehead. I'm going to keep it really simple for today. I'm just going to do some lip mascara and I'll be right back. So here it is, the finished look. I just popped a little bit of lipstick to feel a bit more alive. Let's compare what I have here to the claims. First thing, it says it's a hydrating foundation. Let's see if my skin feels drying throughout the day. If not, it may be a hydrating foundation. It says it leaves a perfectly even skin tone. It wouldn't be due to the hyaluronic acid and watermelon seed oil. It would be due to a coverage product evening out the color of your skin. And it has a natural matte finish. Perfectly agree, it is a natural matte. It does still have a bit of luminosity to it. I would say a satin matte maybe. And I must say it behaves beautifully with cream products. I've applied cream bronzer from Danessa Myricks and a little bit of cream blusher to my cheeks. That's all the color I have on today. Behaved beautifully, and then when I powdered on top of it, it also stayed really nice and it didn't start to curdle up or look a bit too cakey. You know, sometimes when you apply powder, the foundation completely changes. I can report that on me it didn't happen. So I'm really interested to see how it progresses throughout the day. The other claims are medium to high coverage. I would say yes, it is a medium high coverage right off the bat, and especially for such a thin liquidy fluid formula, you would think it would be far more sheer than it is. It does have quite a bit of coverage, which I personally enjoy, and it was easy to build up. It didn't start to mush up on itself or anything. It just looks really natural on the skin, and it hasn't emphasized any sort of texture on my skin. I mean, pores will be pores and wrinkles will be wrinkles. There's nothing much that can be done regarding that, but it hasn't clung on to my dry patches or anything, so I really enjoy that. And it says it has a comfortable skin feeling. Just said that, yes, it doesn't feel like it's drying my skin out, nor that it is already meshing with my oils and becoming too oily, which can happen. And usually when a foundation says hydrating, people with combination to oily skin run away like from the devil. And I'm really curious because it's a hydrating foundation with a more matte finish. It is probably creasing. It's starting to crease on my forehead lines and a little bit on my laugh lines. There's nothing that I can do about that because any kind of higher coverage product will usually crease up. It's just the pigment bunching up on that area, but I can easily pat it down with my fingers once in a while. And I don't usually, if you've been here for a while, you know this, I don't usually wear foundation on my forehead because I have fringe, I have wrinkles, and I don't need coverage, so I usually skip this step. So this is just merely for your information and for you to check it out. It is now 3:20 in the afternoon. I've been trying to record this little segment for about 15 minutes now, so let's put it around 3 o'clock when I finished my makeup. And I will do a few check-ins throughout the day, and I'll try to leave my makeup on for about 10 hours, which is, I think, the minimum for a normal person who has an 8-hour day, an 8-hour work day, and then 1 hour commute each side. It's the minimum that I try to get out of my foundations, and I'll let you know how it is going. So I'll see you right away. Hi there, it's 7 o'clock. So this foundation has been on my face for about 4 hours, and I don't know how it looks on camera. I hope it's picking up, but I'm extremely oily. I don't mind a dewy, luminous glow. I'm all for it, but this is beyond that, in my opinion, of course. I forgot to say the usual disclaimer. What works for me may not work for you, but we can still be friends. And even though you may have combination skin, you may have a different outcome with this foundation. I'm not trying to put the whole world to my perspective. I'm just giving you my experience with the foundation. As a first impression, I'm not very impressed. I was quite impressed when I put it on, and in fact, it was looking really skin-like and natural, but with enough coverage to hide my scarring and my hyperpigmentation. So I was really excited about it. But the matte finish didn't last long, and the problem is that it became quite oily. The creasing hasn't increased too much, nothing to write home about. At least my concern is really the oil, because I have been sitting at home working on my computer. I haven't been doing any straining exercise or anything, and it's not that warm to justify all of this. And the SPF that I applied today is a quite lightweight one, so it's the foundation and my skin together. They're making this beautiful mess. So what I'm going to do is take my sponge and I'm going to sort of blot. I have blotting sheets, but I'm being lazy, to be honest. And I feel that part of the coverage is gone when I'm blotting, which makes sense with the texture of the foundation at this moment. It's basically oil. And I'm going to powder again to give it a bit more time. But yes, this is something I would do halfway through the day, but I wasn't expecting for the foundation to be this, you know, oily and messy at this point. If something says they're matte and long wearing, I'm aiming for something that I don't have to worry about for the rest of the day. I know I'll have to be a bit more high maintenance with something a bit more luminous, but I wasn't expecting that from this foundation. And to be honest, I feel like I don't have much coverage left. anymore, and a part of my mascara has run. I don't want to over powder, you know. I like some blurring of the pores, but nothing too much. So here it is. I did my right side, right? There's basically hardly any difference between my powdered forehead and my non-powdered forehead at this moment. So, and as you can see, it was melty and oily even on the areas where I had previously powdered. So it's not because I just used cream products on my face, because I powdered as usual and it still wasn't cutting it. So I'm quite surprised with the development of this foundation. I'll be back in a few hours with a final countdown, the final check-in and my thoughts. But you know where I'm going with this, aren't you? Unless something really suddenly changes. See you in a bit. Hi everybody, it's 13 past midnight. I think you will forgive me if I end this video about an hour earlier than what it was supposed to, but as you can see, the foundation has already done whatever it could do for me. Basically, I'm just an oily mess again. It's been a few hours and I'm back to being oily. There's hardly any coverage on my skin at the moment. It's just a film of oil, and I really want to wash my face at this moment. So let's go point by point regarding the claims of this Catrice True Skin Foundation. When it comes to the real skin and the natural matte finish, I would say this is true for me for the first few hours and then not anymore. I actually love the medium coverage that it gave and how effortless it was to apply. It was really easy. It did look like skin. It didn't look like anything was sitting on top of my face. It was really natural and it felt super lightweight and not drying nor oily. But later it became too oily and the pigment even separated from the base of the foundation at some point. It was okay in terms of creasing and it worked very well both with creams and powders. Regarding the long wearing claims, for me it's a no. I don't know how it will work for you, but after 4 hours it was already super oily and I need a foundation that performs a little bit beyond that, and not just the oil but the coverage sort of started disappearing and melting away as the oil progressed on my skin. It was easy to blot. There was nothing weird happening on my face when I blotted, but there was hardly any coverage left after I blotted. So yeah, as I said, 4 hours is too little of a performance for me. It is very inexpensive, so if you're on the fence and you are within that terrible shade range that they provide, it is worth a try. I'd say the risk isn't too high. It makes it easier to forgive a problematic foundation or to actually try a bit more to make it work and go a bit more out of your way to make it work when it is very inexpensive. When it is a very expensive foundation, I want it to be just bang on, so I'm far more demanding. But it depends on you and what you want and what you are willing to give for your foundation. I think normal to drier skin types, I don't know about completely dry skin types, but I would say normal to dry skin types will probably find very interesting ways to work with this foundation and will find this foundation really nice for them, as long as they are up to that satin matte finish at the beginning of the journey with the foundation. This is not the end of the True Skin Foundation for me for now. I will still give it a few more goes and try a few different products, try with another sunscreen, maybe trying mattifying primers underneath it and see how it performs. But yeah, first impression, up close and personal, I've tried better. That's it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. As usual, if you haven't, please consider subscribing, leaving me thumbs up, talk to me in the comments below, and come and talk to me on Instagram, where I am a bit more active than on here. As usual, thank you for spending your time on me. I'll go to sleep and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!